Hey everybody, how we doing here? Let's see. Okay, there we go. There we go. There's the stream. All right, we are up and we are live. We're just gonna do a little bit of American Truck Simulator. Woo! It's a classic. Um, I don't know about you, but I have a big love of being a trucker in all too many games, whether it's a good old classic American Truck Simulator or something like EVE Online. I do space trucking, I do a lot of space trucking, just logistics in general, moving stuff from one place to another. Probably one of the nerdiest parts of many a game. It's been a hot minute since I've played American Truck Simulator, so please, don't get too surprised if it takes me a little bit to remember how to use the keys and how to do anything in this game. Looks like we're starting off here just in a truck in Redding, California. I grew up in a little old town called Redding. Let's go ahead and check some of our settings here. Let's see about configuring these graphics. They look simple graphics settings. Let's just do advanced settings. Simple settings. Why don't we just go ahead and try hitting Ultra, and we'll just see what that does to us, huh? All right. And we'll just leave all the rest of that alone there. Let's look at our keys really quick. Okay. I'm using simple throttle. I don't have a full-blown gear assembly, so I'm just using a simple setup there. So classic with SOD. Looks like we can... we have some buttons here for changing things. E starts and stops our engines. We've got our axle stuff with U. I don't really, the indicator, the right turn, left turn indicators are bracket keys. Okay. Got hazards with our F key. Light modes. Okay. All right. All right. Light modes is L. And high beams is K. Oh man, I'm not going to remember any of this. H is for our horn. Wipers is P. All right, cruise control is C. Okay, that's important to remember. I to switch around our dashboard. Side mirrors. It's going to be F2. That's good to know. And F3s. Okay, 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 okay. There we go. Well, everybody, if you've never played this in American Truck Simulator, what you do is that you are a trucker and you run a trucking business. I've played Euro Truck Simulator, basically the same thing, but in Europe. But today we're playing American Truck Simulator, and starting off in a little old city named Redding in California, Northern California. And what you are is you are trying to make money doing jobs so you can buy your own truck and then eventually run your own trucking business. Pretty nerdy stuff. Looks like we've already got a quick job in progress. We're taking wood shavings from Redding to somewhere else in Redding. Well, that's going to be real easy stuff. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get going here. All right, so we'll go ahead and we're not going to turn on the in-game radio or any of that stuff because, well, um, we're streaming and I still haven't figured out all the rules for how this game handles, how Twitch handles things like game music and stuff like that. That can get a little bit dodgy out there with some stuff. But that's all right. So if you've never met, I'm Cobra. I'm a dad. I play games. I used to play games a lot as a little kid, and as an adult, I've always played games. So, it's just fun to get back into the saddle as things were. We'll just go and turn our lights on, even though we don't necessarily need them manned up. Those gauges are real small. Air pressure, trip advisor, drivetrain, really, fuel economy. Okay, well, we'll go with that. All right. Looks like we already have our trip advisor good to go. Our emergency brake is set. Do I have to hit? Alright. Okay, and how do we change? Okay, number keys change our perception view. Let's take a look around. Man, they really do a good job of capturing the general look of the region. I hear that they've rebuilt Redding recently, so I'm excited to check to see that out. Originally, they kind of had it set up to be a fairly small arrangement. Oh boy, look at this truck path that we want to turn through here. As far as Redding goes, but it is a larger town as far as towns go in that part of California. About 100,000 people or so, and it's on a couple of major freeways. So there's a lot of traffic that comes through there. So from a shipping perspective, you're going to see a lot of trucks coming through that way. And what do you know? I've managed to so far get us mostly out of our starting zone here. stop wrecking into my thing. Okay. You know, I bet you we're not supposed to stop on the side of the train tracks or the truck like this. Why don't we take a look at... Oh, yeah, look at that. The train comes, we are so hosed. Okay. I wonder where we're supposed to be here. Looks like, this looks like old Highway 99 if I was a gambling man. So we're pulling out of Spring Gulch Road. Let's get our signal going. We're going to just pull on to here. Yeah, here we are on 273. Yep, old Highway 99 as they called it back when I grew up. Get ourselves up to speed here with our little old tiny speed indicators. These cars aren't going as fast as I like. Good news is we're just going down the road here. Clear Creek Road, okay. Probably got I-5 here we're going under. Alright. Not bad, not bad. Oh, I should turn over here. Can you imagine if you were a truck driver and you had a drone camera like they do in these games? It's kind of what it is. Your own little personal drone. I can only imagine. That's not how real life works, but I will take advantage of it for a game because personally, I love all the stuff. Alright, so now we got to handle our job delivery. Enter. Okay, we can do where do they need it? Oh, they want it up there backwards. Let's play it safe. We're going to do that. I've never been the best parking guy. And I can hear some of you now. Cobra, it's not that hard. I'm like, maybe, but, you know. I enjoy the driving more than I drive the parking. Alright, go ahead and detach. And there we go. First job done. Look at that, everybody. Get a little bit of experience right out the gate. Nice. Free is the win. Okay, so we don't own our own truck yet. So what that means is right now what we got to do is odd jobs for people with quick jobs, which actually is a great way. Sometimes you don't necessarily have a lot of time in your day. Just want to get in a few quick jobs. And these are a great way to do it because you don't have necessarily to drive off to places and stuff like that. So here is our headquarters, little basic garage. And we don't own our own truck yet, it's telling us. So this is the last truck that we drove is what's showing. But it, you know, it's kind of the default look, but it's not really our truck. Okay, so I'm going to check the options here. I'm going to go ahead and turn that audio down a little bit because that master truck volume is just, let's see here, engine volume. I'm going to turn the engine down and the exhaust and the turbo and the truck effects, and the truck noise and the trailer noise. We're going to turn those down a little bit. All right. Okay, so let's find ourselves jobs. We'll go into the job market here. We're going to look for a quick job. What do we got out here? What do you guys think? Oh, you can pick where you want to do the job from. Well, the way I like to play this is since I'm in Reading, let's go ahead and do the rule that we have to try to grab a job from Reading to somewhere else if we want to travel. I think technically normally you could just like pick other places, but yeah, I'm going to do it that way. So since we're in Reading, we've got to do that. We've got a whole host of jobs available. We've got some jobs taking us south. Looks like pays pretty good, 7,491. That's a pretty good job. And then the jobs as we scroll over this way kind of go down in cost. They may not be as far. They may not be as difficult. There are different reasons for that kind of thing. Now, let's see here. I've got a pretty good chunk of the map out here. Looks like I might need to get some expansions. Looks like Texas, Montana. Interesting. Okay. All right, but we're in Reading. So, what do we got here? Now, this is a job. What do we got? We can take a look at the job. It's a standard delivery. And what are we doing? Frank truck. So, it looks like we're delivering a truck. Is that what is a Frank truck? That's not as big. So we're just delivering the truck itself? Is that all we're doing? Um, Standard delivery. Okay, well, all right, that's easy enough. We're going to go ahead and take the job. That seems too good to be true to be taking just the truck itself. Let's find out what they've got in store for us. Frank truck time. You know, I got to learn more about our audio options as far as music and stuff. I did try installing. There's a cool little app for audio background while doing this kind of thing using our. Ooh, this truck's a little. Oh, we got something there. Let's take a look. But yeah, they've got a little audio background software thing that they're working on these days. Interesting. Okay, that's an interesting truckload. I don't think it's supposed to do that. A Frank truck. It's all sloped to the back. Interesting. No, I don't know what we got going on here. So let's go ahead and get this started up. We're just going to go ahead and turn our lights on. Safety first, you know. Okay. Let's see. What do we have to do here to get our audio for our guide? GPS. Voice navigation. There we go. Let's go ahead and enable voice activation. We're going to do Doug.
You have arrived at your destination. Your route guidance is now finished.
What if we do a UK Doug?
Finding new route.
Or Raspy Doug.
Make a U-turn now.
Let's do UK Doug. What do you guys say? All right. We're going to do that.
Ready to roll.
Going here. Okay. Oh man, we got our exits off over that way. Gonna have to loop around. Oh, a little fast there, Cobra. Little fast. Okay. There's our gate. So we've had cold, wintry weather here where I am up in the Pacific Northwest, and it's funny because it looks like a nice spring day here in game. I don't know that they really have seasons yet in these games. It would be fun to see, though. I could quite really enjoy that if we could get some seasonal weather. What do y'all think?
Get ready to turn right. Turn right.
Okay. So we're going to turn right here. Fidget with our map real quick. I think F5 changes our maps modes. Okay, looks like, oh, we're south. Oh, yeah, they did expand Reading. Good, good. It needed it. All right, let's do slightly zoomed out map. Okay, but not fully. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of this for the turn. Turns are always so wide. Not want our trailer to catch. Okay. Alright, now we're going to get ourselves sighted and get in on the road.
Get ready to turn right.
You're ready to turn right up here ahead? Okay.
Turn right.
They really capture the feel of the roads out here in the west. I will be interested to see if they actually get around to whether or not they're using the same engine or not to eventually capture the East Coast. I'm a West Coast boy, grew up here in the West Coast, so I would be kind of excited to see what trucking looks like, what the roads look like, the highways and freeways out there in the East.
Get ready to turn right.
If any of you out there are from the East, you should come to the channel, tell me about it. What it's like, but I just feel like it's got to be a little different. Everything's so spread out here in a lot of the West. You're coming in real hot on that turn. It's a good thing we didn't have any traffic there. Yeah, out here in the West, everything's real spread out, but you know, there's a lot more people, a lot more condensed out there. I'm always curious. We're speeding a little bit. Let's slow down just a little bit. All right, 46. That's not so bad. It's a mild speeding. Look at this. We've got a nice, beautiful day out here. Got a light up ahead just to screw with us. We're going to run that yellow and hope it doesn't turn on us. 25 out here. Oh, of course, we got a 25 immediately. This is one of those real 25s, or just like a suggesting. Oh, that's not so bad. Quick little delivery down to Oakland. And we'll be good, we'll be good.
Get ready to turn left.
Oh, some beautiful streams.
Turn left.
Oh, coming up to Corning, huh? Corning's low 10. I had an aunt and uncle that lived in Corning. Yeah. Let me tell you, in real life, a lot further away from Reading. My understanding is that the American Truck Simulator has the world's about 12 times smaller, which is really interesting to see what they choose to keep and don't keep. Because, you know, at that scale, that makes sense. You don't necessarily want your players to spend, 16 hours driving. Although some of us might argue that that would actually be more fun. However, when you compress distances that much, you have to make a lot of real decisions about, like, okay, which cities are you going to keep? How are you going to, show the terrain and stuff? So you want to capture elements that give it that impact in the real world.
Then turn left.
But then you also need to make sure that you don't mess things up too bad for your scale as far as turns and roads and everything goes. Real interesting. Oh, that's a stop. Oh. That was a stop. All right. All right, we didn't hit anybody. We're doing good so far. And here's Corning.
Get ready to turn right.
Looks like we're going to go from here to get onto I-5. You know, it's interesting. I would not normally come to Corning via the back roads in order to get to I-5 from Reading. That is not what I would consider the most ideal route. But you know what? Who am I to argue with the... Who am I to argue with the GPS? A red light violation. That's a right on a red. Well, folks, we're already $280 down because old Cobra ran a red light. Looks like the game takes a harsh opinion. Maybe big trucks don't have a turn right on red provision. And you know what? That would make sense. That would make sense. Ooh, 70. Except for trucks could still only go 55. Of course. All right, well, let's get up to speed here. Oh, the game will let us get up faster. You know, it's funny, in Euro Truck Simulator, there is a 55-mile-per-hour limit or some equivalent thereof hardwired into the trucks because of the way that regulations are in the EU. Whereas in American Truck Simulator, you can speed, but I'm not sure how they decide to fine you or not, because a cop doesn't necessarily have to be nearby. On the open road with a Coca-Cola Zero. Nice and straight drive. Now, compared to its counterpart, European Truck Simulator, there's a lot more of the American's trucking has a lot more of a long-haul style, I've noticed. The roads are laid out differently, the way the interstate system works. Not that you can't do long-haul in European Truck Simulator, but it's just not quite the same. It's just really interesting. A lot more toll roads, a lot different. Some of my favorite drives in Euro Truck Simulator were going from the south of France over into Italy. Some real beautiful terrain that way. It's a beautiful drive. This, however, this is classic Northern California I-5. Look at this. It's just open land, farming, mountains off in the distance. Other trucks speeding past you because the speed limit doesn't apply to the NPCs. let's see where we're coming up to now. Road 8. Wow, great name. Great name, Road 8. I don't recall if there's a real Road 8 on this particular stretch of the highway. Highway? Freeway? Freeway. This is a freeway, Conrad. Remember that. Like it feels like a placeholder. But it would be funny if that's actually the name of the road in real life. I wonder if this game could get overhauled and put into the Unreal 5 engine. I'm actually not completely sure on the engine they use, but when I see the way that they handle some of the terrain and stuff, part of me feels like
and then turn right.
They could really take advantage of some of that new technology with how Unreal handles open world stuff. Maybe make the game engine more robust and more beautiful. I get the feeling that this game, the vibes I'm getting is that they remastered a flight simulator engine, if I was willing to make a bet. Which is actually how Tribes 1 was made. Tribes 1 used a flight simulator engine as its base that they built the first-person shooter on, because at the time, that was one of the easiest ways to get a large open-world map like the kind that you have in the Tribes games. There's a little history fact of the day. Okay, just go. Actually, it looks like there are lanes
Keep
going
left.
here. Stay left. Oh, we've got an exit-only lane. Let's get out of this one. A lot of rest stops in California. I do appreciate that about them. Not so much in some of the other states. Washington, even on the freeway, they've got rest stops, but just not as many as California tends to have. But you know, when you're driving long distances, it's nice to have that option. Oh, look at this. Look at this.
Keep left.
Keep left. Yeah, the draw distance not quite as ideal as one would hope, is it? But it's not bad. I kind of take advantage, use a little bit of a heat haze effect, it looks like, to kind of obscure the distance. You know, I wonder, with the world like this as big as it is, if somebody got a hold of it and did a little tinkering, whether or not you could build a first-person shooter engine on top of this. Some sort of modern world Tribes type experience. So for those of you that are new around here, which is going to be basically everybody, oh hey, we have our first time chatter. The Cool Life 58, hello! Welcome, welcome. We're just doing a casual Friday afternoon drive. Currently in California, headed down to Oakland from good old Redding. Just starting a new game of American Truck Simulator here, so doing contract work with other people's trucks. Join the open road. How's your Friday going? Watching us from work, or you lucky enough to be at home relaxing? These games are usually pretty chill streams. They are, and that's kind of why I got into them. I remember, I think back during the early pandemic, everything was kind of on lockdown, so I had to, you know, get some donuts and coffee and fire one of these up, and it's kind of a great way to feel like I wasn't so trapped. My brother got into it pretty much as well, so, you know, even though there wasn't really a multiplayer experience, we'd both be trucking at the same time, chat with each other in voice a little bit, kind of like truckers on the open road.
Exit right.
Never played them, but you occasionally watch them because they're just chill. You know, I do the same with far more games than I would like to admit. Or the games that, you know, you pick up but you watch people play way more than you ever actually play yourself. I'm pretty guilty of that as well. Traffic's a little
Turn right.
tight here. Looks like a summer day in California in the game right now. I grew up in the region that looks like we're currently driving through, so if this was real life, I'm willing to bet outside of the cab it'd be in the area of 100 degrees, but it's something like 40 degrees right now here where I'm at, so I'd almost take 100 degrees. Chilling at home, but you're about to head out soon? Okay, okay. Off for fun and relaxation, or are you heading out to work? Oh, to eat? Gonna grab some food alone, or you going out with friends? Got a signal coming up here. Just some family? Yeah? Okay, okay. Not always as exciting, depending on the family, but you know, it's good to spend some time with family. In theory, anyhow. Hopefully y'all are going out somewhere nice, or is it just going to be dinner with family at one of their houses? Or are you going to head out to some local cuisine? Speed looks like we're got a 50 miles an hour here. Going somewhere? Okay, okay. Do you happen to know what kind of cuisine y'all are getting yet? What kind of food it's going to be? Burgers, pizza, Thai food? I could go for some Thai food. I think I used up all my curry paste, though. And tonight, the missus is going to be heading out with some friends for dinner. And I'm going to be hanging out with my 2-year-old. So for me, no Thai food. A burger? Okay, okay. I could go for a good burger. My favorite burger place here in town is a place called Bob's Burgers and Brew, and let me tell you, they make an excellent burger. What kind do you like? You prefer a burger with some barbecue sauce, just a classic special sauce, cheese, no cheese? Look at this factory over here. That's cool. See, I feel like you could build a shooter map around that. That is interesting. Now, if I was really trucking through the Oakland area at the moment, I would get myself some In-N-Out Burger. They do. I currently live up here in Washington. Great state of Washington. Lovely weather, nice and green, but I do miss the California burger experience. You know, and I know that not everybody loves In-N-Out, but it's you can shoot her through anything nowadays. It is true. It is true. You know, you get a few mods in, get a determined team, and you could be set up making a shooter out of everything. It's always funny to me when I see these, like, there's a game with a world map that's bigger than Grand Theft Auto, pretty sure. And at the scale it is, and with some of the stuff, I'm like, you know, they could add, you could add some content to this pretty easily. Okay. Alright, looks like we're almost at our destination to drop off.
Keep right, and then turn right.
Yeah, they're pretty hard to find outside of California, and even in California, if you're too far north, they're a little rare, unfortunately. But you know, yeah, there are many good burgers out there, and you know they're kind of a simple burger, really at heart. It's just kind of a acquired taste. Ooh, this truck, he did not make his turn. Oh, that just barely made that turn, and he held the light. What a punk. Well, if you enjoy chill streams, especially stuff like trucking, but you know I get up to other games as too. This channel's new, but probably going to be streaming on Fridays and Saturday mornings with my dad life. Those are the days that I have the most time for this sort of thing, and so you should always subscribe. You could be the first. You could be our first subscriber, possibly. You could, then everybody will have to be second ever to your first. So just a thought to think about. When you get that burger with your family, follow. Okay, we call it follow here. Follow. That's right. I think subscribing involves money in this game. I mean, in this streaming service. See, look how much of a noob I am to all this. Using YouTube terminology here in Twitch.
Go straight on.
But yes, you can follow. Be the first of our followers. Oh, we're gonna need to go left up here. Oh, straight
Go
up here?
straight on.
Okay, we're gonna go straight here. Twitch is following till you get affiliated. That's right, you gotta get all fancy. Build up enough streams, get yourself to an affiliate status.
Get ready to turn
Let's
left.
see if that happens. Might be able to pull that off with some luck.
Turn left.
Now, my recommendation when you get to a place with burgers with the family, you should look into a burger with barbecue sauce. If they have it. I love me a barbecue burger. Possibly my favorite kind. Speed limit's 10 around here. I hate low speed limits. Anything under 25 is hard to maintain in these trucks. So once we get affiliated, we can get subscribers and followers on. And then you start setting up all the fancy tiers and stuff. Alright. Make that dream life somehow become so popular that, suddenly you're making money by people watching you play video games, which is kind of a crazy idea, right? One person you watch took a year, and another dude you used to watch took him like 3 to 4 years to get affiliated. It's always funny how that works. And then there's some people where they already have like just kind of enough of a presence from other stuff. They start streaming, and all of a sudden they've got like partner status overnight. It's all about the time you put in and that charisma factor, I guess. Work at it hard enough. Look at this. Look at all this water here. I have discovered a new viewpoint. Okay, we'll put away the viewpoint thing
so
I
turn
can
left.
Ready to turn left. There we go. Up here. Oh no, further. There's the marker. The marker.
Turn left.
Alrighty. Alright, guys. Oh, that's not the marker I want. That is the viewpoint marker. We want the delivery marker. Alright, guys, you can show me where you want it, but I'm not going to make any promises. You're going to want me to back it into a spot.
Your route guidance is now finished.
Alright, where do you need it? Oh, that is so not happening. What do we got here? This one dude has a TikTok with nearly 1K followers, and then he averages like 5 viewers on Twitch. That's the other thing that's funny. Sometimes the audiences will transfer over, and they'll be super loyal, and they'll follow you around, but others, in some mediums, like, it's hard, like, you try to use TikTok as a feeder platform, and you can't get anything. And then for other folks, just the vibe or the metric or whatever they got going on, it's super easy for them. Oh, we're going to have to back into this. Ooh, that's going to suck. Backing up trucks is terrible. All right, well, let's do it. See if we can't get to the line. I always feel like the ones that have the most success is if you build up a lot on YouTube. That can be a great way to build. Building directly on Twitch itself can be quite hard, I hear. YouTube is a pretty good way to bring your following over, but, the most successful people seem to somehow multi-platform it. Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, assuming Twitter's still around anymore, Instagram. Yeah, YouTube can be really hard as well, too. You're very subject to the whims of the algorithm. And it is just kind of whether or not the algorithm gods are nice. You think it's harder to build on than Twitch these days? Interesting. That could be true. All right. Gonna drop the the loading cables. There we go. All right. Ooh, look like that. 392 experience. That'll get us a level. Excellent. Yep. Nope. Well, gosh. Ooh, what do we? Ooh, fuel economy. Better. Long distance. Hazardous. Let's go with fuel economy. That seems like a smart start. Twitch is easier to find little streamers than YouTube. That is interesting. Yeah, once upon a time, YouTube used to be better about that, but I know that there's been so many changes. I remember the old days when if you subscribed to something in YouTube, you actually kind of knew if they were releasing content. Now you got to like subscribe and like activate the notifications, and it's just a whole uphill battle. It is crazy. All right. Well, let's see. What do we got for the time here? It's going on 4 o'clock here. It's so annoying. Yeah. Whereas Twitch, I will agree with their like tag system and stuff they've got set up. You can kind of drill down, find the little micro communities, plus the whole rating system, like community and system. How you can hand off followers to other people and dump them into channels and stuff. So it is really interesting how there is kind of a more of a community experience. Whereas in YouTube, it's part luck. You get the right thing with the algorithms, and you get stuff fed into you if you're lucky. But then again, it's almost part like who do you know? YouTubers know other YouTubers, or new YouTubers who have other YouTubers that feature them enough to get content driven in and stuff like that. Yeah. It's always interesting to see how those things change. They tweak a little thing, and that changes the pay, and they alter an algorithm. You don't mind the noti thing on YouTube, though, just because some YouTubers just randomly sub to from years ago. That is true. Every now and then I'll go through and I'll take a look at my YouTube subscriptions and I'll be like, what? What am I even doing? All right. Well, let me send off a quick text here. Looking at this time. Author. Texting while I'm on a stream because I'm a dad. Beep, beep. All right. There we go. All right, let's see here. We could do another job real quick. Quick job. We are currently in Oakland. Oh, hey, we could take a job back to Reading where we just came from. Tempting. By the way, you followed a while ago. Why, thank you, The Cool Life. I appreciate that. Do you stream yourself, or you just here on Twitch as a consumer? I could take. Let's see. I am currently. Where am I? Can I zoom the map in right now? Looks like I'm. Am I in San Francisco? I'm in Oakland, technically. You don't stream? Okay, okay. I mean, most people here on Twitch don't. And yeah, most of us are consumers. I'll be honest, I don't watch as many streams as I probably could or should. Let's take a load of fertilizer back up to Reading. What do we say? Let's do that. I'm sure that'll be fine. All right, pays us 6,000. Yeah. Yeah. If it was this easy to make money in real life, a few thousand here, a few thousand there, doing a few quick overnight drives using somebody else's truck, I'd be a driver. I'm sure truckers don't make this kind of money. I've got an uncle that used to truck, and one of my cousins has done it some. And to my knowledge, they're not bringing in this kind of cash. That would be crazy. Oh, hey, look, you did that job. You got $6,000 for one night of driving. Now you don't need to work for the rest of the month. You're following so many streamers at this point that you don't even recognize half the streamers. Uh-oh. Well, that's my YouTube. Let's see, what do we got going on? Oh, okay. Well, we're all loaded up. I guess we'll just go ahead and get this bad boy on the way. Get our lights on. They're going to want us to do a bunch of a U-turn. Oh, boy. They're going to want us to start with a U-turn. That is super. Every now and then I'll go through and purge the YouTube and get rid of the stuff that I don't recognize anymore. But it is hard because, let me tell you, I am not... I wonder if backing up would work. It's probably a bad idea. Let's try it. Alright. Getting a little careless here, backing up. Yeah, and I'll go through and look at my YouTube rolls, and sometimes I'll purge ones I don't recognize anymore, or that have stuff where I'm like, oh yeah, I used to be into that. Not anymore, I guess. But I also feel bad for unsubscribing, so the amount of subscriptions I'll keep just to, not, quote-unquote, hurt somebody's numbers or break the heart of some YouTuber who doesn't even know that I watch their stuff. It's always funny how that works. As a truck driver coming for Google, looks like you can go from anywhere from 30K a year to over 100K a year. That's a wide range. Like 30K is like fast food money. 100K, that's not bad. That's not bad. I mean, 100K, you know, office managers and stuff make that kind of money. Okay, is this our exit? Let's see here. Is that our exit gateway? That does not. Oh, here it is. It's up here. There's how we're getting out.
Turn left.
100K a year does sound nice. Although my understanding is if you're making 100K in trucking, that you are going to be on the road a lot.
Turn left.
So, if you're the solitary type, you know, or you got a family that doesn't carry you around a lot, you know, don't have the Mrs. and kids or the Mr. and kids, then maybe that's not so bad. And if you're single, I could see that being not too bad, especially if you like seeing places. I wonder if you make more, which ones are the higher paying jobs? Is it the regular routes, or is it the people that have,
turn left,
you know, more random long haul driving all over the place, as opposed to maybe the truck drivers that are always running baked goods up and down the road? Yeah, being a truck's not a bad idea, though. We need people to drive trucks, and we're not going to have electronic trucks anytime soon. Well, we might have electronic trucks. Let me correct that. Self-driving trucks, I think we're a ways out from. The self-driving car technology is not that bad. And yeah, and if you're single, it's not that bad. And the robots won't take your job necessarily overnight. You know, in America, basically runs on truckers. I mean, you know, it's one of our major occupations is driving. But assuming you have a personality and you know, the kind of stamina for driving, you know, you could be on the road for 10, 12, 16 hours a day, depending on the kind of trucking you're doing. And there's a little bit of physicality to it often, hooking things, unhooking things, stuff like that. But you know, if you've got the type for that, I bet you that's not too bad. As far as careers go. And you know, when the gasoline wars start, and you know, the warlords are looking for recruits, experience as a truck driver, not bad, not bad. Gonna need somebody to drive their fuel chariots to harvest the gas from the gas fields and bring it back to their strongholds. So always worth thinking about.
Go straight on.
The gasoline wars. Oh boy. I cracked myself up. I wonder if they're going to send us down I-5. Then you're always driving, all you would need is a little one-room apartment. Yep. Definitely true. And depending on you know, where you're based out of, that's not too bad. I mean, rent is not as cheap as it used to be in a lot of parts of the country. It is so hard for housing anymore these days. But and shoot, if you're a truck driver, a little one-room apartment probably right up your alley. I lived in a nice studio downtown for many years. It's nice, enough nightlife and food and all sorts of stuff around me. But you know, at the same time, just enough personal space for my needs. A little one-bedroom, that's even nicer. You know, give yourself a little extra room, luxurious life, as it were. Look at all those yellow hills. This is why California can burst into flames all the time. All that shrub and all that dry grass. Weeds, really. Calling it grass is generous. To be honest, you prefer a smaller house and one-room little areas? Okay, okay. Maybe one-room apartment. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of huge spaces myself. My house here has got... I'm a dad, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 bedrooms and one room that's not technically a bedroom. But before dad life, I was very much into the one-room apartment, small space. I didn't need a lot of space. I didn't really want a lot of space. You know, you get too much clutter that way. What do I need that for? I need a place to hang my hat, put my computer, spot for the couch and the TV, enough flat surfaces for the cat to sleep on. You know, the good life. You know, why waste a bunch of money on a bunch of space you're not really going to use? That's why I always kind of love. I love watching
Go
videos
straight
about Japan, like life in like cities like Tokyo. And we're gonna get. Yep, we got fined for that red light. I knew that was gonna happen.
Keep right.
I love videos about Tokyo and stuff like that. I like to watch talking about chill experiences. My favorite kind are like those videos where it's
Keep
somebody
left,
walking around
then
downtown
turn
Tokyo,
left.
especially at night, recording. It's just kind of like you're going on a chill, relaxed walk around the busy nightlife. It's really fun. But then you'll see these videos about like little old apartments and stuff in cities like that.
Turn left.
And I always love it. People are like, oh, it's so tiny. I'm like, that's actually pretty cool, I think. Here we go, making a turn. Look at this bridge. This bridge, I mean, if you think about what this bridge is, this is a terrifying notion. Look at how much high up in space. And you're taking this giant truck. And it's just massive concrete structure of concrete and asphalt, steel, in defiance of God himself. Oh, the things we build. What river that's supposed to be? That might be the Sacramento. Alright, so we can't get up to speed here. Trucks right lane only. Alright, stay in the right lane. Alright. E-toll, cash trucks. Now, since I'm not driving for myself but the company, they should pay for the toll, I believe. Let's merge over here, get out of this lane. We'll just, oh, yep, we gotta go through one of these bad boys. Okay. These ones are e-tolls, so just drive through and they auto-pay them. There's the other kind where you can stop. Let's see here. Biggest issues with trucking is that always driving, your body's always going up and down to really fuck your physical health up. Well, that is one. Well, you know, I guess so. I don't know enough about the science of that, but that could be true. That could be true. I don't know about that. I do know that supposedly sitting around a lot, it's not great for you. And a lot of us do have sitting jobs. I work in an office, so I am sitting for a lot of the day. I do try to get up, go on a few walks throughout the day, so that way I'm not, you know, just sitting on my butt. But of course, I work at a computer for my job, and then I come home and I play on a computer. So, you know, look at me, model of health. Let's get out of this lane into the right lane. There we go. Oh, look at this, heading into night. Beautiful sunset. Make sure our lights are on. The average American life. You aren't wrong. You
Then
are
turn right.
not wrong. Turn right and then turn right. That doesn't
Turn
make
right.
sense. Okay, well, we're taking the exit. You know, I wonder what the average American life is. It's always interesting. You always kind of have the biases of where you grow up. And a lot of things are similar, you know, a lot of the same TV, a lot of the same kind of restaurants and stuff. But it's all the little things that makes me wonder how different somebody else's life might be from yours, depending on where in the country they are. Always fascinates me. I think that's part of what I love about the trucking games, too, is just that kind of
Keep
concept.
left.
You know, everything's just a little bit different if you drive far enough away. Not a ton, just a little bit. Alright, how's our fuel doing? I don't see the gas meter. I think that's it down there. Yeah, we're fine. I'm sure we're fine. Yeah, it depends on how much they make and how much they live. And those are two huge factors. Yeah. How much you make is
Keep
that
right,
is
and
not
then
only how
exit
much you
right.
make, but how much your parents made. I've had some friends that have come from families
Exit
that
right.
were fairly well off, and it's interesting all the little unknown biases that they have on the way they think things should be
Go
and that the
straight
world
on.
works because of the life experience they had, and then being so clueless that some of us don't
Keep
come from
right.
the same background and didn't necessarily have that same kind of view of the world. Like explaining to I have this Canadian friend who came from a fairly well-to-do family. And between those two factors, knew how to ski and snowboard, and just kind of thought skiing and snowboarding was a thing everybody did. I'm like, oh boy, no, no. Some of us did not come with
Keep
families
left.
with parents that knew how to ski, let alone we could afford it. Be right back. Okay. Well, for everybody else out there, the cool life is gonna take a little break. But for the rest of you out there, how is your Friday going? Friday afternoon, Friday evening, or maybe Saturday morning if you're tuning in from somewhere like Tokyo. If you are tuning in from Tokyo, you should say hi. That would be fun for us. Doing a little bit of afternoon streaming here. Just got the channel up and running. We're doing a little bit of a drive from Oakland to California, Little American Truck Simulator, which is a good kind of chill hop experience that I quite enjoy. Looks like right now we're still traveling the roads of California. We're heading our way into Redding, which is actually the town I grew up in. Well, it's funny because this is definitely what that part of the country looks like. They really nailed it. Okay. Are we speeding again? Let's slow down just a little bit. Okay. Oh, we got Corning and the Reading, 107 miles. Alright, the cool life is back, everyone. Nice. Okay. Traffic just streaming by us because we're trapped by it. I am pretty sure that actually in real life, trucks can go 65 in this part of the freeway. But that's okay, that's okay. If the game wants me to go 55, we'll go 55. The recommended listening for those of you with audio subscriptions, I would recommend putting some sort of lo-fi chill hop music on in the background. It's a perfect companion to a game like this. Let's see, what do we got here? The cool life. It amazes me how lazy Americans have gotten. Well, everybody's lazy, depending on where you are in the world. In some ways, that's definitely true. We do work actually more hours than a lot of parts of the world do. So it's funny. We're lazy in some ways and not in others. I think we work more than the Germans, but we still technically work a little less than the Japanese. But that puts us pretty high up there. But yeah, yep. We've got a lot of modern conveniences, and that has made us a little bit lazier as a people than we used to be. But that does appear to be the trend that happens to any country as they modernize, from what we can tell. You just don't need as many farmers, don't need as many people, out there cutting lumber. That's what my grandfather did. He was a lumberjack. And here I work in an office. Not like the 50s from what I hear. Yeah. Well, I mean, part of that is the world's a lot different than things were in the 50s. It is interesting. Back in the 50s, one person's salary, a gentleman could get a job and pay for the wife to stay home and have some kids, buy a house and a car and everything on a one-man salary. A little harder to pull off these days. But they did also, they worked those big old 40-hour weeks and everything like that. I mean, or sometimes more, depending. And there was a lot less automation. We didn't have computers and stuff, so I think people did a lot more outdoor stuff, a lot more sports.
Keep right, and then exit right.
A lot more work was manual. South Avenue.
Exit right.
Ready? I don't
Get
recognize
ready
South
to turn
Avenue.
left.
I will say that 50s fashion,
Turn left.
pretty stylish time. There's a fine for crashing into somebody. All right, so far we've lost about $600 between a little bit of a slip up on a traffic light and on one little accident. What do we got here? From what I hear, the 50s and 60s, everybody worked on their own car and more yard work to keep up their house, etc. Well, I think a lot of that's true. Well, one, there were less people in the 50s, or a lot less people. I'd have to look up the numbers on that. But two, more people owned homes that had their own yards and stuff like that. A lot of people don't have that option these days. Housing's not as easily available, so there's that. But also, a lot of people worked on their cars. Not everybody, but a lot of people did. Cars were simpler. There were less computers and stuff. But my grandpa, he would work on cars, and he wasn't a mechanic by trade, but he knew how to do that. My dad, now he was born in the 50s, but my dad knows how to work on a car and stuff, or at least used to. Nowadays, now that there's more computer chips and other stuff in him, he doesn't do it as much as he used to. So that is definitely changed. That kind of trade labor has become a lot more specialized. Now, some people do work on their yards and stuff like that, but I think that you see less people doing that. I think that's definitely true. You work on your car occasionally. I never had the knack for it. It's always a little weird. Like, despite the fact that my grandpa and my dad knew how to work on cars, despite me attempting to get them to, show me the basics and get me into it with them and work on some cars together, they never really did that. It's more the shame. But, I'll be honest, I'm not that good with my hands when it comes to physical stuff. I'm all right. I work on the yard and a little bit of home maintenance, but I'm no expert on that kind of thing. I'm more of a computer nerd. Know my way around a little bit of code, some spreadsheets, data, that kind of stuff. But my stepdad was an OG computer nerd, so I took after him. You do the brakes and stuff like that shit? Well, you can save yourself some money if you know that kind of stuff. That's for sure. You can do your own brakes, change your oil and stuff like that. Well, and it gives you an excuse to get out there, turn on the radio, kind of zen out. I do enjoy the zen of that kind of stuff. Getting out there doing some work, especially if you've got the temperance for it. That's how I feel when I get a chance to get out in the yard, break out the rakes, the shovels, get out the my pressure washer. I haven't got my pressure washer out in a while. I need to do that. Spray down the house, spray down the yard. Maybe put a podcast on in the old earphones or just music and tunes. All right. 23 miles to go. We're getting close. Driving through the back roads of Redding, California. Now, after this delivery, I will be buttoning up the stream for now. Speaking of dad life, I got to get off to get the children's off working on some stuff and take care of some laundry. If you could time travel, you go back to the 50s and the 60s, to be honest. I think depending on who you are and where you live, I could definitely see that. Yep. It would be fun to check out. I don't know if I would want to give up. Well, I like computers. I like the internet. It would be interesting. I would love it if, let's say you could quantum jump into... I love the idea of, if I had the ability to quantum leap into somebody and be able to experience, life in another time and stuff and things, but then be able to come back to my own life without things having passed, that would be kind of cool. Go check it out, try it out for a few years or whatever, or a few days, come home, take a break, go back, check it out again. That could be cool. That would be an interesting superpower.
Get ready to turn right.
Hopefully not change the timeline and mess things up too bad.
Turn right.
Or what would be cool, I was talking to the missus about this the other day. We both agreed, is what if you had the ability to pick a time and place and jump back to a point in your life, quantum leap into your own life, and onto a specific day or time. You know,
Get
a
ready to
night that
turn
you went out
right.
to on a good date with somebody, or you went, I don't know, somewhere fun like
Turn right.
Disneyland or to a good meal, and just be able to redo it. But like you could change things if you want. However, not have any of the changes actually affect real life. So you could go back and pick a day and time to redo or relive. And you can do it the same way or do it different. But no matter what happened,
We are
then when you hit the
finished.
reset button, you just come back to this time and place and you don't change your own life. That would be so cool. Because, I would be terrified. People are like, oh, but you could change things to make your life better. And I'm like, you know what? Probably not. If they're so likely that you would actually mess things up. But on the other hand, if you could just go back and redo a day or something like that, just for funsies, have a day picked out. You're like, oh, this is one of my favorite days. I like doing that. Having a rough week? Okay, I'll go do a reset day. That would be fun. There we go. Unloading the cargo. What do we got here? Another level. Well, nice to see you, the cool life. I'm going to head out too. Got to get off to that family stuff. Have a good burger. Have a good night. Maybe I'll see you on the stream again sometime soon. Bye. And for anybody else out there, I am about to button this down. Look at that. We're going to get some more fuel economy points. Let's check our emails really quick. Some truck dealers, the bank offering me money, people looking to hire people with their own trucks. Okay, okay. Well, that's been American Truck Simulator and a conversation with the Cool Life 56. So I hope everybody out there has been having a great time. Look at it. I'm just being a super huge nerd, pretending that I know what I'm doing. But this has been a dad named Cobra. Hit that follow button. Tell your friends if you enjoy watching a dad play games, listening to a dad jabber on endlessly about life. Playing games like American Truck Simulator, Kerbal Space Program, strategy games, zombie survival games with friends sometimes. I like that kind of thing. I think tomorrow morning I'm going to be playing some Barrow Trauma with a friend. Outer God Inc. They'll be streaming, so that should be fun. But yeah, and I might be able to stream as well now that I've got my rig up and running. In the meanwhile, though, everybody, drive safe out there and have a good Friday night.